Welcome to Around South Jersey. I'm your host tonight, Erica Milbourne, and today we're touching on a subject that I think affects a lot of us. And if it hasn't touched you personally, it could definitely attach to your family or a friend or even a coworker that you might know. Our guest today is David Moore, and he is the president of M25, and he's the chair of the Housing Collaborative. Dave, welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Definitely. So, so many people are asking, what is or what does M25 mean? Maybe that's where we should start. I mean, feel free to introduce yourself more, but then please tell us what M25 is.
So I am Dave Moore. I'm a lifelong Millville resident, so it's great to be here in Millville to do this interview. And M25, our roots are with the Code Blue initiative, and our roots have a lot of faith-based roots. And so M25 is really a verse that no one can argue with, I think, which is, for I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to see me. And that really is the mission of M25. We work by that as a board, and we live by that with our actions. So I'm going to say it a few times during this meeting, but please go to the www.m25initiative.org website. And it's my mission really here today to get people involved with helping the homeless. It's such a problem.
Well, the scripture that you read, Matthew 25, verse 35 through 36, definitely it's the true definition of I am my brother's keeper. And with winter coming on, it's fastly approaching, because I think no one would have expected that we have turned so quickly into cold. I had to put a jacket on today. We don't want to see anyone in the streets. We don't want to see anyone laying on a sidewalk and snow, or even cold, just cold, period, because sometimes it doesn't have to snow to make it difficult. For someone to be outside. So with Code Blue, it is an initiative here in South Jersey that's taking place as well. What are you currently doing? What is M25 currently doing and starting, since we are approaching the winter months?
Well, we always support Code Blue, and I can talk about that later, and it's such an honor that that's now a requirement in every county. And that actually started in Cumberland County. And it started with M25 and some really great people. Everybody, Al Kelly and Robin Weinstein and Ralph Padilla from Prac, and a lot of founding members that really made that something special. And now it's throughout the county. But our latest announcement from the M25 Board of Trustees was we awarded $100,000 to the Rural Development Corp., which operates the Cumberland County Shelter, right here on the border between Millville and Vineland, to serve as the lead agency to coordinate the case management and housing opportunities for clients of the Cumberland County Housing First Collaborative.
Okay. That sounds like a lot of money. So how far will that go, or what will those funds be used to actually do for our homeless population?
So, to explain that, can I talk about the Cumberland County Housing First Collaborative?
Definitely.
So this agency was started some time ago, and I just like to list out the nonprofits that participate with that in Cumberland County, because I think it's powerful. So Gateway Community Action Partnership, PRAC of Southern New Jersey, World Development Corp., Ascendant Integrated Health, and Spirit Health, Complete Care Health Network. You've got the Homeless Services of the Cumberland County Human Service, which is the Social Service Board, and the Cumberland County Guidance Center. And this group works to collaborate to ensure that homeless have access to emergency shelter while developing a pathway and the supports needed to attain permanent housing. And the collaborative uses a comprehensive strategy to find individuals without a home or permanent housing, and without a home, permanent housing. Housing is coupled with wraparound services to keep them off the streets, because when you look at those nonprofits, we're all involved in physical care or mental health care or social service. the collaborative was actually started back in 2015, but we've participated in getting 115 individuals into permanent housing.
Wow, that's good.
And we're doing it ongoing. And you know, it's all about the philanthropy of M25, the donations from the community. And again, I just have to point out the M25 website. So the $100,000 specific to your question, and see how we get around to it.
Exactly.
But the $100,000 is really, it's the last, it's the money to be used when nothing else can solve the problem.
Okay.
And so all too often, that money could go for anything from figuring out how to get ID to first month's rent, or a security deposit, or maybe an old electric bill even. But whatever's getting in the way, because all those agencies work to house people. We work together. And yet, sometimes just that last thing that gets you over.
Exactly.
So we work with rural development, and we actually run monthly meetings. So the really wonderful thing about the Housing First Collaborative is the social service folks of all those agencies, we get together once a month, and we talk about our successes, but we also strategize on how to help people that are either homeless or in the emergency shelter. And it's just a wonderful, it's an honor to be the chair of the collaborative and the president of M25.
So if someone's in need of housing and they reach out to, you know, they can reach out to any one of these agencies and they'll be able to direct them and assist them as far as getting housing or getting in touch with M25?
So I would really say that again, my recommendation would be to just go to the www.m25initiative.org, where there's also a phone number for 1-844-M25-HOPE. The shelter certainly is an opportunity to stop by. They certainly will see people during business hours, and they are the shelter. So there's a 24/7 phone number for emergency shelter on the website, and we also can connect you to the Cumberland County shelter. And there are social service folks out there, and so we work with all these agencies. And the numbers are there, and so I hope people use them. I know it's a growing problem, and the only way to solve homelessness is one person, one family at a time.
And that's what I was going to say. You know, when I being a business owner here in Millville on High Street, as we were speaking previously, I see so many homeless people just like, where are they coming from? It's like, and I know that, you know, we said the problem's always been there, but it just seems like there's been an influx, you know, here lately with this homeless situation. And it's one, you know, people wonder what is going on. Did COVID have a hand in that? You know, is it mental health, which is definitely an issue across the country, mental health? You know, what have you found to be one of the true issues? And I know it can happen to anyone. They always say there's a saying that you're only just a paycheck away. Most people are. But have they done any research to find out what is going on, why it seems so prevalent here lately?
So everything that you mentioned are legitimate reasons. Substance abuse, mental health that's not being treated. I think the pandemic led to a lot of financial hardship for individuals. Sometimes the things that mean well, like the moratorium on rental evictions, actually led to a little spike in homelessness because people ran up bills, right? And I had to admit to people at my ripe old age, I probably would pay my rent, but when I was 25, I don't know.
Exactly.
You understand what I mean? Because
Totally.
it's always so tough to make ends meet. So so all those things are true, and you know, it does seem like for every person we house, maybe 3 are becoming homeless. And so there are numbers to call if you're fearful of being homeless, so that we can try to help before that happens.
Right.
There's emergency shelter, that if if you are homeless and you need to come in, it's there. And, we work with every agency in the county that's willing to work with us that is involved in housing the homeless. So we're trying to throw the kitchen sink on it, and it's really why I'm sitting here talking to you today. Is because the problem is growing, and we really have to apply M25 one person at a time.
Right. When I think of homeless, it's heartbreaking, number one, to think that people that have been working, because not everyone is someone that's a substance abuse, that's have addictions. Some people are truly families that have worked very hard and just fell on hard times, lost their jobs. The funds just weren't there because, as we see, the groceries going up, gas is going up, and the cost of living has just almost like doubled. It's like, what is going on? How can we truly afford it? So I do understand the homeless population growing. I also understand when it came to COVID. You're right. I had a choice to pay the mortgage too, and I chose to pay the mortgage. But I also had that job, that steady income. I was able to work from home, so I was able to still get those resources coming in. And I did have a choice to make that payment. I think a lot of people had a choice to make that payment because for some people, their job situations didn't change, but they chose to take advantage of those options.
Yeah, and some people lost their job.
Some people lost their job and couldn't pay it. Yeah. And those are the people that I think are coming up now with the moratorium, because where are you going to get it from? It's the moratorium's over. You now have to come up with the funds. Where are you going to get it from? So one of the things that your organization does is, you were saying that if the holdup with getting into housing is an electric bill, it's a gas bill, you will actually help them with those resources?
We deal with these cases one at a time, and we yes, the $100,000 obviously cannot solve the problem.
Right.
But what we do with that is that we work with all these nonprofits, and we have different avenues for housing vouchers, and we really work to see what the person or the family is eligible for.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, we have the ability to write a check if there's any of those things that are getting in the way.
Okay.
And I mean, we do more than that, but that's what the $100,000 does. Is it's another source of funds to take someone out of the shelter or take someone off the street and put them in an apartment. So if we've worked everything out and all we need is a security deposit, we just write the check. That's what we do.
That sounds great. Sometimes you just have to write the check. Right. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more Around South Jersey. Don't go away. We'll be back with more of Dave Moore. Thank you so much.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community. Local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
When you want delicious food made from scratch soups and locally sourced ingredients, you head to Larry's 2 on Main Road in Vineland, New Jersey. Family owned and operated, Larry's 2 boasts one of the area's only salad bars with a great selection of fresh vegetables, rolls, dressings, and more. In their cafe, enjoy a piping hot cup of your favorite beverage made by one of their skilled baristas. Their complimentary Wi-Fi allows Larry's 2 to be the meeting destination with a friend or small group. They also offer banquet rooms that can accommodate 10 to 500 guests for any occasion. Open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. Call Larry's 2 today at 856-692-9001. Larry's 2 Restaurant and Cafe, located at 907 North Main Road in Vineland, New Jersey.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
Hello, I'm Erica, owner here at Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe. We're located at 230 North High Street in Millville. We offer a wide array of home-cooked meals, from our tasty breakfast entrees, fabulous lunch options, including homemade soups, and of course, our delicious desserts. Celebrating someone special in your life? Let us create a beautiful cake for your next celebration. We're open Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 856-765-3282 or visit us online at everythingclassy.com. Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe, where the main ingredient is love. Welcome back to Around South Jersey. I'm your host tonight, Erica Milbourne, and we have with us tonight David Moore. He is actually the president of M25, and he is the chair of Housing Collaborative. And if you're just joining us, David, some of these people are still asking, what is M25? Let's just give a refresher for those that might have just joined us. What is M25?
Well, M25 is obviously a verse in Matthew 25, 35, and 36. And really, the start of M25 goes back to the Code Blue initiative and opening up the churches in response to a sad death of a homeless individual in Bridgeton. And, you know, the really powerful part about that is what started here in Cumberland County is now a statewide initiative.
Good.
That Code Blue is mandated in every county. And in Cumberland County, you know, the county announces where Code Blue will exist every year, and there is some funding, but we add to that funding to make sure that the individuals in Code Blue have something to eat, have showers. We've done showers, RFPs, and the Code Blue areas have showers. So we're still involved in it. We really work hard, and I encourage volunteers for the Code Blue whenever possible. So it is where we started, and it's a faith-based. It was a faith-based effort. It remains. We have a lot of faith-based roots, and M25 is the verse. And I can say it. If it's for I was hungry and you gave me something to eat, I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I need clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to visit me. And it's just a powerful verse, and it is our mission. Yes. And we really live by it. And like I said earlier, you know, when it comes to homeless individuals, and there's so many factors to it. But at the end of the day, people that become homeless really need a helping hand in so many ways. And as we continue, you know, you'll see that our volunteer efforts certainly try to address that. And one of the volunteer efforts, can I continue? You know, when you're talking away, right?
I want to know how people can volunteer.
So obviously, you know, I promise it's the M25 website at www.m25initiative.org, 1-844-M25-HOPE. You know, I listed all the agencies that cooperate with this in the collaborative. But one thing I really want to touch on that's near and dear to my heart is yes, the M25 board encourages and organizes volunteers opportunities. And one volunteer opportunity, which is so wonderful, is we're really pretty effective in getting community support and to actually attain individual or company supports to sponsor move-ins.
Okay.
And so when you're housing the homeless, it's all about, you know, you start finding a place, right? Getting an apartment, figuring out how to get them an apartment. Sometimes it starts with ID. But when you're dealing with the chronic homeless, some people have some things stored, but most people do not.
Right. Exactly.
And so it's one of the most wonderful things. So what we do is we work with companies and individuals to actually sponsor move-ins, and we facilitate that. And so, you know, when you sponsor a move-in, it is the most amazing team building experience. It's and I know I'm showing my age, but it's the closest to Ed McMahon that I ever become, because it's amazing, because you're right. The person,
Right.
you know, we try to meet with the person ahead of time to understand what they have and what they don't have.
And what they need. Okay.
But we really arrange, when we sponsor a move-in, we furnish the apartment. You know, we collect used furniture. We storage it in some private storage facilities. The only thing we don't take is bed mattresses. We buy that new.
Okay.
And we literally meet with the person when they're moving into the apartment, and the trucks start pulling up. And we're going to show a video. If you want to see some move-in
Yes.
videos, if you go to the website under Contact Us, you can see the 100th move-in celebration that we're about to see, and you can click on it. But this move-in was right here in Millville.
Okay.
It was actually sponsored by Inspira Health, which is my employer, I guess. And they've been very kind, and they obviously, you know, work with the collaborative. But it's just such an exciting event, and it's amazing. Some people end up just crying on the front step.
I can imagine.
Other people, there's always tears of joys involved,
Right.
because everything you'll see in the video, you know, the people that I work with, my colleagues, my collegiate nurses, because I'm a registered nurse myself.
Okay.
Everything from curtains to spatulas to pots and pans and it is really a wonderful experience. And I would say, as an administrator, it is the best team building experience I ever had. So we're going to look at a short video to see what that looks like.
Oh, it's exciting. It's a little bit of an emotional ride for me. I became homeless after a painful separation where it was an abusive relationship. I lost everything to be free, but I have a lot of faith. I have a lot of fight. I have passion for life. I get to start my life over, me and my son, and I feel like this is just a huge blessing and opportunity given to me from God. I have a lot of faith, and my God gives me my strength to keep fighting, hold on to hope, and move forward, and this is like exactly that opportunity. So I embrace it, and I'm so happy. Again, it's a blessing. To me, everybody here is an angel, like a gift. And it's overwhelming. It almost doesn't seem real, because I'm not used to all the love and the attention. So I'm loving it. It's just an honor. I'm so grateful. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It takes a special kind of person to be this generous, this giving, and selfless, and it also takes sympathy and empathy, and that speaks volumes in a person's character. And just thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. So thank you to the M25 initiative and all the donors.
All right, so we are with Rick Ortiz, who's an M25 board member and the housing coordinator for the Housing First Collaborative. Rick has been with us since the first move in 2017.
It actually feels really, really good. You know, I was there for the very first move-in. We are at 100, and you know, we would have liked to see this number probably a long time ago, but we've made it. We're here. And it's just exciting. It's exciting to see the smiling faces. It's exciting to see such a big team from Inspira that was able to come out and just be such a support. And it is an exciting, exciting day for us today. I do want to just thank all the collaborative, all the volunteers, M25, all of the board of M25, you know, the president, everyone that puts their best foot forward, because this is an important thing. It's important for our community, and it's important for the members of our community, it's specifically those that are struggling and just need a helping hand. And like I told our 100th, this is just the beginning for her to be able to get to that place and just be able to succeed. And this is just the beginning, right? It's housing first, and that's what we want to give them. It's that ability to have housing and be able to put everything else in place. But this is the first step, and we're able to do that with her today.
Wow. Well, congratulations for doing such a remarkable job and putting smiles and hope back into people and smiles back on their faces. I think that's a great thing. When I'm watching that, I'm wondering, how does it make you feel to know that that you're doing this and you're making this difference and this change in people's lives, giving them that fresh start?
It definitely adds some kick to your step. I got to tell you that it's wonderful because when people work together, they're wonderful. Mm-hmm. And you know, homelessness is really a spiral, and it leads to so many unnecessary hardships. You know, if you're homeless for a period of time, you're eventually going to have chronic physical disorders. Mm-hmm. You're going to have mental health disorders. Yes. You're so prone to problems with substance use. You know, it's really sad. You know, I work in the mental health field. I have for like 30 years, and you know, unless you really deal with folks, just like, let's say one thing like depression, right? Mm-hmm. You know, the really horrible thing is people with depression sometimes turn to alcohol because it shuts off your frontal lobe, right? And if you shut off your frontal lobe, you don't have any problems. Mm-hmm. Or maybe they turn to methamphetamines or cocaine. And the sad part about it is it probably has a therapeutic effect for 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Depending upon how you're abusing it. And it really, the therapeutic part only lasts for 10 seconds, and the depression comes back worse than ever. And what's hard to realize is, I know people think, well, you should just stop. Or you should just, but those 10 seconds are actually worth it to the person. Exactly. You know what I mean? And we really need to get back and hold on to what M25 tells us. And that is that we're all in this together. Mm-hmm. And we really can't be judgmental about why somebody's homeless. We just have to recognize that they are, and things aren't getting worse, aren't going to getting better. I know, as a registered nurse, if the care plan doesn't address homelessness, mm-hmm. the treatment's going to fail. Exactly. But yet, there's no global answer to this. Yeah. It really is one person, one family at a time, and it just drives the mission. When I look around, and it seems like every person we house, there's 3 more homeless folks, mm-hmm. and that's the hardship of the time we live in. And so what we have organized here and the support of all these nonprofits that I'm so proud of is really the only answer that I have. Okay. And so, you know, I'm here to talk about our philanthropy. Mm-hmm. I'm here to get people involved. It would be remiss of me not to talk about our next fundraiser. So, there's commercials everywhere. And, you know, so the M25 board sponsors fundraisers event every year. Mm-hmm. And people know these events, the sock hop in the spring. We did a Cinco de Mayo last year in the spring. We have an annual breakfast. And our next fundraiser is certainly a new one. We're going to try it out. And basically our next event is Fall in Love with M25. Why not? Yep. And so we're going to have a sip and support social mixing function. at the Terra Nona Winery right here in Millville.
Okay.
And tickets are available at the website. You can sponsor this event. We have a breakfast plan in January. We certainly accept donations.
Okay.
But I can promise you that our events are really fantastic. I mean, I really enjoy the events, and it's a great time for everybody. There's always social, music, dancing, and just good talking, and really it's just another celebration of what we're talking about today.
This sounds nice. So that's Fall in Love with M25,
Yep.
and Why Not?
That's right.
Wine, W-I-N-E. Not.
Yeah, that's right.
And so this Sip and Support is going to be, like I said, a social mixer, fundraiser.
Yep.
And it's going to be held on October 26th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's going to be at Terra Nona Winery at 370 Garrison Road here in Millville. And tickets are $60.
Yep.
While, and that includes a glass of wine and light refreshments.
That's correct.
Definitely sounds like worth every penny.
Yeah.
And at that time, will people be able to also donate?
Yeah.
And make donations?
You can always donate. Trust you me, and we're always willing to try to find ways to use volunteers to help the process. And again, if you need a ticket, listen. You can call me if you want, but it's really just all on the website, and we're just excited to have these events. We appreciate the philanthropy of many companies in the area, and again, it's all on the website. So, thank you. Yep.
I just and this is a little kind of backtracking.
Okay.
I just was curious. Do you track the success, or do you do follow-ups once you move them in? What happens next? Because that's a curiosity of mine. Like, what happens? Do they stay? Are they able to maintain? Do you have a percentage, a number? What kind of information can you tell us as far as that portion?
So, that list of nonprofits that includes, nonprofits like Gateway, Ascendant, Spirit Health, Complete Care, the Social Service Board, Human Services, and certainly the Cumberland County Guidance Center. We make sure people get linked to the care they need.
Good.
Okay. The Rural Development Corp has a great ability. They employ social workers too. They follow up with their cases. It's certainly part of the agreement with Rural Development that the money the collaborative uses can be used to keep somebody in housing. So if we house somebody, they can contact us if they're having problems.
Okay.
We've certainly paid a month's rent to keep somebody in a house. So we really try to do everything. Now, everything we do, for the most, it's all voluntary.
Right.
So one of the things that I think is absolutely necessary, and there's a lot of good work in Cumberland County. I could go on and on with the prosecutor's office and things, but there's a lot of good work to make sure that we're offering people solutions, not consequences.
Okay.
And we're partnering to people to get volunteer cooperation, because we can't mandate the solutions to this. And the problems that we both see, whether it's in downtown Millville or downtown Vineland or downtown Bridgeton, or really all over these cities, can only be corrected one person, one family at a time, and to actually partner with them. We don't lecture them.
Right.
We offer them things. We offer them solutions. And it is true that as we move to the winter, this becomes a life and death mission sometimes. So yeah, it's wonderful, that I'm involved in this stuff, and I really enjoy it. And obviously, I'm willing to work with the board to lead these events. But at the same time, you know, the demand for mental health treatment, the demand for supports for housing, the financial hardships. You know, we talked about so many groups, and it didn't mention, like she mentioned, domestic disputes cause a lot of homelessness.
Right.
And actually, a group that comes up more recently is we're starting to see elderly homeless folks, because they're any population that's marginalized is at risk to ending up homeless, and it's just a horrible, scary state.
It really is.
and so we really need to create systems that we may talk to that same homeless person on High Street 6 times or 10 times or 20 times. But one of those times it'll work. Okay. And maybe they'll address their alcohol problem, or maybe we'll help them linkage. Maybe they need linkage to disability. Well, certainly in Spirit and Complete Care and different, Ascenda certainly runs a RISE program that is very powerful for the homeless. So we know what we have. We know we need more. And we're going to keep collaborating. You know, the goal of the founder, Robin Weinstein, over at Bethany Church in Brixton, was to actually end homelessness.
That would be great.
And yeah, that would be great.
That'd be great.
And again, I hope we get there sometime day. That would be lovely.
Yes.
But we're only going to get there one person at a time.
Well, what we'll do right now is we're going to take one commercial at a time, and we're going to take a small break. We'll be right back. Don't go away for more Around South Jersey.
Are you ready to go green and cut down on your electric bill? Then there is only one call you need to make. Soaring Solar is your complete source for solar, including new roof installations. Soaring Solar is a veteran-owned and family-run company. Call the Soaring Solar family today and talk with one of our solar consultants. Call your local Soaring Solar consultant, Vicki Kozak, today at 856-265-1262, or email her at vkozak@soaringsolar.com.
Well, Wildflower Vegan Cafe is one of the longest running all-vegan eateries in the state, and the only one in South Jersey to feature so much local and organic produce, where everything is made in-house from scratch. We have a small seasonal menu that changes frequently. We can always find healthy, hearty salads, wraps, soup, and baked goods, all made in-house.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Hello, I'm Erica, owner here at Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe. We're located at 230 North High Street in Millville. We offer a wide array of home-cooked meals, from our tasty breakfast entrees, fabulous lunch options, including homemade soups, and of course, our delicious desserts. Celebrating someone special in your life? Let us create a beautiful cake for your next celebration. We're open Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 856-765-3282 or visit us online at everythingclassy.com. Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe, where the main ingredient is love. Welcome back to Around South Jersey. I'm your host tonight, Erica Milbourne, and we are here with David Moore. He is the president of M25 and the chair of Housing Collaborative, and we've been talking about Code Blue with the wintertime coming and, so many elements getting ready to take place right now, I would say. And when I say elements, I mean between snow and freezing cold rain and just cold weather all in general. And we've gotten there so quickly, I think. It went from summer to almost winter. We are almost skipping past fall. But we want people to know about Code Blue is definitely going into effect. Started here in Cumberland County, which I didn't know that, and that's great to know that it started here in Cumberland County. And also M25, helping homeless people get off the streets into housing that they can sustain, maintain, and grow with. So, David, I'm curious to know what got you involved, grew your passion to want to step out on, I would say, faith and help the homeless people, the homeless population.
So I mentioned that I'm a registered nurse, and I've worked for Inspira for 30 years now. And during that time, around 2006, I actually became the executive director of the mental health program. And I still represent the mental health program as the associate vice president. And so we were working with the Camden Coalition. We had the South Jersey Innovative Collaborative, which was the hospitals of South Jersey. And we certainly looked at a lot of our billable data, the hospital systems, and we noticed that a small percentage of the population uses an enormous percentage of the resources.
Okay.
And we're really focusing on mental health, but when you focus on mental health and acute mental health, homelessness is certainly a factor that leads to acute presentations.
Yes.
And Jeff Brenner was involved back then, and certainly John D'Angelo, who was the president of M25 at the time, and we had a meeting, and John had really championed the initiation of Code Blue. Inspira, the first day Code Blue opened up, we did all the laundry. That's really how we started. And so we had a meeting, and he was like, I'm so impressed with this M25 initiative, and they were less than a year old at the time. And he asked me to go down there because they were working on a grant with Monarch Housing, and I went down there and I looked at the grant, and I knew the agency because I live in the community. But I went down and I met with the board, and they had a group there, and I was just taken aback because they had done so much work in that year, and they did have everything in place to go after this grant, and we got 42 housing vouchers, and the Housing First Collaborative was started with that ability, and certainly current President Amy Mansue, she continues to support the M25 initiative significantly every year, and M25 wouldn't be doing the great work without the support of so many companies, but certainly Inspira gets the hats off. So it was actually my employer, and then I got to tell you that to volunteer at Code Blue opened my eyes, because you just have to realize that homeless folks are just normal folks that are homeless for the most part. And I know we see a lot of what appears to be homelessness on the street, and it certainly is, but you never know when you donate your money to just anybody.
Right.
You really just don't know. But what I do know is that when you donate money to M25, the work of M25 in coalition with all these nonprofits, we make sure that we're helping a homeless person.
Because that's one of my concerns when it comes to donating money. I don't want it to go to a CEO that's got a house in, Martha's Vineyard and here and in Millville, or, all around. They're traveling. They got a private jet, because only 10 cents goes towards the actual purpose or the cause. So when it comes to, when I see the little things, donate money, I tend to, and I think a lot of people do, they tend to shy away from making that donation, because it's like, where's the money really going, and how much of that is really going to the cause?
Yeah. I would say that when you donate to M25, certainly far over 95%, virtually all the money goes to do something to help the homeless.
Okay.
And our history at M25, there are no salaries at M25.
Mm-hmm.
I am a volunteer.
Okay.
I am a volunteer in both those hats.
Mm.
And everybody, those nonprofits, they certainly employ people that are helpful,
Mm-hmm.
but M25 doesn't employ them.
Okay.
And so when you donate to M25, you're going to homeless, and it doesn't stop. We've had RFPs. We make sure that there's showers where the code blues are, because people, the blessing of a shower, right? if you have hot water,
you don't know what it's like until you don't have it
amazing.
anymore.
You
don't know how good a shower feels.
That's correct.
Until you've gone a couple of days or a week or a month without one. I can only,
We take so much for granted.
Yes, we do.
And so we still support Code Blue from an M25 and an Inspira perspective. And I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of my employer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a joy in my life to have so many positive. I'm involved with so many positive agencies.
That's good.
And everything about M25, though, I assure you there's no profit in M25. that really, from Reverend Robin Weinstein, the founder over at Bethany, to the president, to the entire board, to all the volunteers, there are no salaries involved with the work of M25. Yeah. It is all for the blessing and the mission of M25.
Well, that's definitely good to know. That's good to know. And like I said, because I think so many people would give more if there wasn't so many organizations or charities that actually took the money and paid themselves. So, you see them with the private jets when they start to investigate and unfold. Yeah. So it's great that M25 makes that a goal, makes that their standard, that all, the majority of the proceeds goes towards funding the homeless project.
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to fly that private jet through the eye of the needle. Okay, right. I'm just telling you that you're not. And so, I'm a big believer in righteousness, and I think that righteousness is powerful. It's healing. It's helpful. And it's not only helpful personally, but it's helpful as a community.
Definitely.
And so this initiative always is doing the right thing. Okay. And so if you donate your time or your money or your furniture or whatever you do, it'll go to a homeless person.
So that leads us back to volunteerism.
Yep.
You're looking for something to do. You want to get your hands dirty. And I mean dirty for a good cause. You want to help with sponsor a move-in. If you want to assist with a move-in, reach out. The website.
Yeah, you certainly do. And so we have to schedule move-ins. They're a little tricky sometimes because
move-ins are always fun.
Well, they are always fun. Well, they're tricky because
move-outs is the problem.
So my first year on the board, my first move-in I sponsored, right? They call me up and they say, well, we got everything in order. And I had the furniture, but yeah, I got a really rough schedule sometimes. I'm a busy guy.
Right.
And I looked at my schedule. I said, oh no, Tuesday. And Robin, I still can hear him tell me, said, Dave, the person is homeless.
Exactly.
And I looked at him, I said, so I guess Tuesday it is, right? And so, and again, my schedule is so meaningless compared to this, but I had to be reminded, right?
Right.
Because it's my schedule,
exactly.
Right? I mean, I got things. and so we organize it in windows. We keep a list.
Right.
And we work with individuals. And then, I help. If it's my truck, if I have furniture, when I sponsor a move-in myself, I kid you not, I meet with the person. I make sure we have the list. I collect things. The hospital employees are so generous when we do one of these things, and we usually have everything. But if I need something, I turn to some of the local auctions and whatnot that are online. Buying a used coffee table is like $7.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Right.
So you can fill in the gaps, and then you work with your colleagues. And you get couple trucks together, and you take a wonderful event and just turn it into an absolute lifelong blessing.
Let me just ask you, from the time someone applies to the time they move in, what is your normal turnaround time?
So every case is a case by case, and some people it takes 90 days to figure out. Hopefully, the rural development's been really great. They really are pretty good at moving people to some kind of permanent housing in a timely fashion. It requires cooperation from the individual.
Right.
It doesn't always work, but we always try. And so, someone that requires emergency shelter, hopefully we get them into some kind of permanent arrangement within 30 or 60 days. But again, there's no guarantees, and it's one person at a time and one case at a time. And sometimes there are vouchers to take care of everything, and sometimes people have some means.
Right.
You know what I mean? So every case is unique. Some are far more complicated than others. So it's hard for me to really give you like a time frame that you can hold me to, right? Because
but as soon as possible, you're trying to get them turned around as soon as possible.
I did that move in on Tuesday. Yeah.
And does the person have to come from a shelter, or could it be someone that's been living? Say someone lives with me and they need to.
That's absolutely
go.
right. I couldn't agree more. So listen, you don't have to be a guest at the shelter to be considered for services.
Okay.
And that was a big point with M25, because we don't turn our backs on anybody. So as far as the M25 initiative is concerned, we really work with individuals. I think it's very helpful to be clear, though, that if you have a place to stay that's not permanent, or you come into the shelter, there's such an advantage to be able to contact you. Because there are so many things that need to be involved to get someone into housing. And you can relate to that. We've all had to move, right?
Right.
And moving is just oh my God, right? It couldn't be a bigger headache. Well, imagine trying to move without an income,
Right.
or without
A truck,
money,
without a
or maybe
truck, without help.
how many people have a bad credit score,
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
So the barriers, I know we're both employed, right? And so we don't really have to deal with the real
Right.
barriers because we have the means to move. So when you put it in that context, you understand how important initiatives like the M25 initiative is, because without that extra mile, without going that extra mile, without that helping hand, the prognosis for these individuals, that homelessness is just horrible. It's sad for their families. It's sad for the community. It's not helpful to the community. And really, when it's not addressed, it can lead to a lot of us and them. And it really needs to be us. And us includes them. So I'm going to live by that. I know it's like I said, it doesn't work every time, but it works often. And all you can do is keep trying.
Well, that's all we can do is keep trying. So get involved. Visit the website, www.m25initiative.org. You can call 1-844-M25-HOPE. That's 1-844-M as in Mary, 25-HOPE. Call, see what you can do to get involved, help with a move-in, make a donation, and definitely, if you're free on October 26th, fall in love with M25. Why
Please.
not?
Yes.
Join them for a Sip and
right.
Support social mixer. It's going to be a fundraiser for the homeless and hungry. Once again, like I said, it's October 26th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at Terra Nona Winery at 370 Garrison Road right here in Millville. Tickets are $60. It includes 1 glass of wine and light refreshments. And you can visit the website for more information. And can they purchase tickets on the website as well?
Yeah, I believe they can,
Okay.
and certainly if not, you call 1-844. You call the number, and I'll make sure I'll
Okay.
drive them out to your house. How's that?
Get involved. See what you can do to make a difference. Do keep in mind, for I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. Get involved. M25 needs your help. Dave, thank you so much for coming in tonight.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to spread the message. So thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm Erica Milbourne right here around South Jersey. Come check me out at Everything Classy, Sweet Soulful Cafe at 230 North High Street right here in Millville. We would love to see you and enjoy your time in your company. And see you at the winery. Have a great night.
Bye-bye. I'll see you there.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.